Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to see the Winnipeg Jets defend their title? Well, here we go. Best regular season in NHL history. Can we pay it off with a ring? You know, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that ring. So we got a fun series ahead of us against the Chicago Blackhawks. Let's preview this matchup. They are 24th in goals for per game to our first and 10th in goals against to our first. So really a defensive-minded team, and they have Bedard, so they're going to be defensive-minded, but bad on the penalty, like awful on the penalty kill, 75.8%, which is 31st to our number one penalty kill. And their power play only ranked 10th in the regular season. Let's go take a look at the lines, and then we can go ahead and talk to Scott Arniel. I'll bring you guys along in that process like I did. I didn't do that last year. Every once in a while, he popped up with something. But at the very start, I did say I wanted to emphasize 5-on-5 defense. So I think I'm going to do that again this year. But here we go. They've got Tyler Bertuzzi, Connor Bedard, and Andre Burakovsky. That's honestly not a bad first line. You'd like to see maybe a little bit better than Bertuzzi and Burakovsky, but they got X factors. You've got Bertuzzi, who's a gritty two-way forward, and then you've got Burakovsky, who's got that sniper for Bedard's playmaking ability. Well, he's also a sniper, so Bedard's kind of like an all-around guy, but you got Teravainen, Dickinson, and Fogle, which is honestly not that bad. Then you've got Mikheyev, Kurashev, Reichel. Honestly, this team is solid when you look at their forward core. You still got Taylor Hall, Lucius, and Duhaime down there in the fourth line. They can roll three lines, and while it may not be a cup contender, I certainly think it's a decent playoff team. Looking at the blue line, I mean, it's pretty average. It's good. It's probably middle of the pack of the NHL, right? You got Korchinski and Jones. You've got Levshunov and Vlasic, as well as Kuzmin and Connor Murphy. So honestly, some young players here, 22 medium elite offensive defensemen here in Levshunov. And then you've got the two-way Alex Vlasic, the defensive defenseman. So that's a really good, like, balanced pairing. Korchinski, the offensive-minded defenseman, to pair with Seth Jones, the two-way guy with X factors. So honestly, the team's not too bad. And then you look at the goaltending. Well, you'd like to see somebody better than 38-year-old Jacob Markstrom. Like, I can see why this team made the playoffs, but I can also see why they are not really looked at as too big of a cup contender. But let's go ahead and talk to Scott Arniel, our head coach. Playoffs, this pops up now when we make the playoffs, and you can tell that as we prepare for the first round of the Chicago Blackhawks, they've been a formidable team throughout the season, and we need to be ready to face them. I'm just going to say 5-on-5 defense. So during this round, focus more on shutting down the other team in the defensive zone, potentially at the expense of getting offensive opportunities. Coaches with a defensive coaching style, like Scott Arniel, will help the team play better defense without giving up as much offensively. So we're going to boost our defense even more, and because he's a defensive style coach, we won't give up as much offensively. So I'm absolutely going to do this again. Defense wins championships. We won it last year thanks to the defensive focus. I mean, Heidelbuck played great, but the offense, well, the power play was there. But here we go, guys. I'm not going to change the lines. Everything worked well. We were first in literally every category, so I see no reason to make a change, move Sugihara off the top line or anything like that. I think what I will do, though, actually, I am going to make a change. Zach Jones going to that third pairing again and moving Spence back up. It's just because it's where they fit. They get the chemistry there. And Zach Jones pretty much at this point is a lost cause morale-wise. I'm not too upset about it, but hopefully he doesn't completely become a locker room cancer and ruin our postseason. So here we go. Game number one. Let's get it started strong. I mean, I'm really feeling confident, guys. I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm speaking, but I'm very confident that we should be able to knock off the Chicago Blackhawks. After the first period, we're down 3-1. Lindell scored a shorty, but Bedard, Teravainen, and Hall scored 3 goals for them. That is not good 5-on-5 defense. All from the same spot. Come on, Hellebuck. Second period, there we go, 4-4, Sugihara, Luchenko, and then Scheifele on the power play gets it done for us. Kuzmin from the blue line scores for Chicago, keeps it tied, but we roar back there in the second to tie the game. And in the third period, we're going to come back and win it. Oh my goodness, Teravainen and Duhaime make it 6-4. Jones, Scheifele, and then Perfetti with 1:10 left gets us a 7-6 win here in the first game. And Morrissey, 4 points. Connor, 3 points. Scheifele, Stankov, and Ehlers. So maybe this year we won't be as lethal on the power play, but if we can get 5-on-5 goals like that, well, I'll be pretty happy. I'm not thrilled about the the fact that we let up 6 goals in game number 1 to a Blackhawks team that was in the bottom 10 of the league as far as goals for in the regular season, but it's game 1. We got the win. We did what we need to. Every game is different. So game number 2, let's see if we can play our style a bit more. Let's see if we can play some Winnipeg Jets hockey here. I would really like to see us have one of those 3-1 victories where it was, I want to see last year's stuff again. That was a lot of fun. First period, all right, nothing, but we have the advantage in shots. You love to see it. Second period, 2-1, Zach Jones and Mikey Anderson, 2 defensemen. I think that's Jones' second of the postseason so far, so he may be upset morale-wise, but he hasn't let it affect his performance. Dickinson for them on the power play, and in the third, it's just exactly what I asked for. A 3-1 game where the defense was great. Hellebuck was fantastic. 30 saves on 31 shots. Chibrikov in the depth. The bottom 6 really adding to what was a really well-rounded performance from the team. Frank Nazar with +2 and a point. Mikey Anderson, obviously, with the goals. I mean, we got the goals from the defenders and the fourth line. I mean, that's depth scoring if I've ever seen it. And then Hellebuck, just 30 on 31, 968 save percentage. Really, really making up for the first series there. And we are quickly up 2-0 after winning both of our home games this season. So I'm absolutely fine with how it's going. This last game was a bit more of what I wanted to see. The power play, 1 for 3 essentially. We're 33%. So third best right now in the postseason. Their power play has been really good. So our penalty kill hasn't been good enough. But we have been focusing on 5-on-5 defense, not necessarily the special teams. So it's not hurt us yet. We're hoping that they don't go nuclear like we did last year on the power play. And besides, I'll take our 1/3 power play any day of the week. First period in game number 3, it's 3-3. Kyle Connor, answered by Connor Bedard. Perfetti and Sugihara respond, giving us a 3-1 lead. We blow that with Bertuzzi and Reichel getting goals there. I'm almost wondering if I want to just load up the top line this year and just kind of go back to the playoff lines from last year. I mean, listen, we're up 2-0, tied after 1 on the road. I get it. But just the performance doesn't feel the best to me, especially letting this Chicago Blackhawks team explode on offense like this. Second period, all right, Kyle Connor and Perfetti. So, I mean, we are seeing more goals from the second line this year for sure. Perfetti's been chipping in. Kyle Connor, though, doing his thing, that what we're used to seeing. But I'm happy to see that the top 6 is now playing more like a unit rather than a first line and then everybody else. In the third period, they do score 1, but Sugihara completes his hat trick, and the rookie is going nuts so far in this postseason. 4 points for Kyle Connor, hat trick for Sugihara, Scheifele with 3 assists. I mean, Sugihara must be hearing me talking about taking him off that first line at 5-on-5 because I mean, he's having one heck of a postseason right now. Kyle Connor with 7 points through 3 games. That line is almost at 2 points per game. That's phenomenal. That's what you want to see. We're still the number 1 offense at 5.67. The defense I would like to see be a little bit better, but the power play is still pretty good. It's nowhere near as nuclear as last year, but it is what it is. But a chance to advance here, and always you worry about a team that's this good, us, not performing in the first round. It just kind of is. It feels like it's a big meme at this point. It feels like. So let's see. First period, 6-0. Oh my God. Power play. 5 power play goals in the first. Did somebody take a major penalty? Yes, a major hooking penalty, and Lucas Reichel slashed outside of the rink. What? But a major hook. I don't know. What did he hook him around the neck? And intentionally? Like, holy cow. But there we go. That'll do wonders for our power play percentage. 6-0 here in game number 4. After the second, they scored 3. Bedard, Mikheyev, and Hall. Guys, just shut the door, please. And we do, technically. It was 6-5 at one point before Morrissey scored on the power play. Lundell scored to make it 8-6, and Bedard made it 8. Oh my God. But how many goals did Bedard have in this game? 1, 2. Yeah, Bedard had a hattie, and it just wasn't enough. Morrissey had 2. Sugihara with 1. Scheifele with 2. Did anybody else have multiple goals? No, they didn't. But I mean, honestly, guys, 8-6 is kind of the opposite of what I was hoping we would see. But I mean, I'll take 5 points from the top guys. Sugihara with just a goal and a -2. I know he just had the hat trick, so I'm not going to complain too much. And we got away with a sweep, right? We're out of here. We're done. 4 games in and out. No scares there from the Chicago Blackhawks. As far as the rest of the league, nobody else was swept, and I kind of could see this one coming. As for us against the Chicago Blackhawks, they just didn't seem to have the performance or the horses to really keep up with us. We were so dominant all year, but now is when it gets interesting because we've got potentially Colorado or Minnesota on the horizon. It's looking likely that it's going to be Colorado, and it will be Colorado. And the LA Kings may face the Edmonton Oilers unless St. Louis has a comeback in them. Looking over in the East, oh yeah, St. Louis is into Game 7 here. We've got the 29th. Let's see. Who's going to advance? Is it going to be Capitals, Devils? Is it going to be Oilers, Blues? The Canadians are going to advance. Oh, an all Eastern Canada second round there as far as Canadians Leafs. So let's see it. And the AHL round is over. I don't really care. And the Oilers are going to advance. We have to wait another day. Oilers 4-3. I wonder if that was like an overtime. We can actually check. The Oilers overtime winner from Leon Draisaitl in Game 7. That is crazy. That is fun. That's exactly what you want to see as a neutral and maybe as a rival. They had to go to 7 overtime. Almost blew it. Scott Arniel, let's talk, bud. The team executed our game plan well. Yes, I wouldn't exactly say they executed the game plan well. We allowed them to score quite a few, but I want to talk about. Let's talk about. Focus more on power play at the expense of a less. No, I'm going to go penalty kill at the expense of a less confident power play because our power play is dominant. I feel like no matter what. The penalty kill didn't really look that great against Chicago, so we are going to go with the penalty kill. Make sure our penalty kill unit is great. Keep leaning into that defense. Try and suppress the score here because, man, oh, man, we're playing. Oh, my God. The Colorado Avalanche have allowed 0.8 goals per game? I'm sorry. Central Division here. Let's take a quick look in April. Let's get to where's the postseason? Playoffs. Here it is. Playoffs. All right. 2-0 win. 3-0 win. They lost 1-0. Okay. So they allowed 1 goal through 3 games there. They won 5-3, and then they had 3 shutouts in the last round. Are you kidding me? Also, I absolutely love the fact that I can now look at that kind of thing. 0.8 goals against per game is incredibly intimidating. What are they looking like? Casey Middlestat, Nathan McKinnon, Valeri Nichushkin. Seen that one before. Daniel Sprong with Landeskog and Lehkonen. They have Landeskog, I think, at center this year. I think last year they had him at left wing. Middlestat and McKinnon are a great one too. Rantanen is gone. He maybe has been gone, but we haven't faced them maybe in a minute. I don't know. Maybe I forgot. Zari with O'Connor and Stahl. That's not a bad third line at all. And then Jeff Skinner with Ivan and Olausson. I mean, guys, this is a really good forward core. Again, it's lacking maybe some of the elite second liners, but they've got quality everywhere. And obviously they have one of the best players in the game in Nathan McKinnon, and Casey Middlestat has developed to be a fantastic partner for him. And on the blue line, well, it's hard to really contend with this blue line. I think we are better than this, but it is an elite blue line. Mikhail Makar, Devontae's number 1 pairing, second best pairing in the NHL behind Morrissey and Pionk. Girard and Perbix, right? So Perbix, Dermott, Brian Dumoulin in 2028. Are you kidding me? All right, so that third pairing is looking pretty weak. It hasn't been acting weak. They're a +4 through 5 games. Their defense has been absolutely stellar. And Mackenzie Blackwood, I mean, 3 shutouts in 4 of his wins as an 84. I mean, maybe that says more about Minnesota than it does Colorado, but still, I mean, to get 3 shutouts, allow 0.8 goals against per game, absolutely ridiculously good. So let's go ahead, get to game number 1. I don't know if I really want to change anything. I mean, we won. We played the games we had to play. And we look pretty good. We got through with the sweep. So I've still got that switch back to the old first line in my back pocket, ready whenever we need it. But for now, I think we're going to ride it out as is because we're getting some good second line production. Just worried about the goals against right now. Seems like Colorado didn't score many either. So we'll see. Let's go ahead here. Get into game number 1, though. And after the first period, it's 3-1 Sugihara. Every time I talk about pulling him off that first line, he ends up scoring. Gavrikov scoring for us. Dermott gets one back for them. And then Chibrikov, he's been chipping in nicely here in this postseason. 3-1 after one. After two, it's 5-2. Mikey Anderson, Zach Jones. That's 3 defenders scoring. Gavrikov, Anderson, Jones, and then Casey Middlestat gets one back for Colorado. And in the third period, Logan Stankoven adds just an extra goal. 6-2 final. A very, very big win in game number 1. Absolutely what I wanted to see, right? 2 goals against, 6 goals for. Is absolutely dominant. That's what we want to do. That's what we're used to doing. And we immediately bump up their goals against per game to 1.6. So that's really nice to see. Our goals against per game improves slightly. The power plays at 61.5%. A lot of that has to do with all the goals we score, the 5 goals on the major power play we scored. Still, I'll absolutely take it. We haven't scored against Colorado yet on the power play. Penalty kill is at 81.8%. We gotta keep bumping that up. Keep killing off some penalties here. Game number 2, can we keep up a similar performance? After the first period, it's 0-0. Okay, I'll take it. Colorado wants to play defensive. We want to play defensive. I think we've got a bit more talent to come out on top. Second period, 2-1 Colorado. I got excited for a second. 2-1 Sprong and Nyshuskin. They're non-stars chipping in for them, and Cole Perfetti chips in for us. Do we have a comeback in the third period? We do not. McKinnon on the power play. Perfetti gets his second, and Ivan salts away the insurance marker just quickly after Perfetti had scored. It was 3-2, and then Ivan basically put the nail in the coffin with that insurance goal. 1-1 after 1 right now. It looks like, as far as the plus minus, Anderson, Spence, Chibrikov, Nazar, Luchenko. Yeah, the bottom line kind of got. They got 1 on the power play, 3 at even strength. So not exactly what I want to see from our team, though. We are still continuing to do better than Minnesota did, but that is not saying much. We need to bounce back here in game number 3 on the road. Can we retake the advantage in the series? If we go down in the series, I think I'm going to immediately make that switch for the first line and just load that up, because I don't think they can hang with that. And we'll make some changes after that. But here we go. First period, 3-1. Landeskog on the power play. McKinnon. Kyle Connor scores on the power play. There's their stars. Their stars came out in a big way on home ice. 3-1. We need to answer here in the second period. There is no answer. We'll slow sim the third period to see if what happens, what the storyline of this third is. But first 5 minutes go by, and Landeskog scores a goal, makes it 4-1 for Colorado. And I'm just going to skip to the end as Dumais makes it 4-2. Taking a look at the stats again, Kyle Connor with a -3. Wow, top line got beaten up. So I think we're going to go back to the old top line. I just do. I think it makes the most sense for us to do that. Hellebuck, Hellebuck is reverting back to the Hellebuck that I didn't want to see. Really didn't want to see this here. He was dominant last year. He won the Vezina now in the regular season, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and move Sugihara there. Brad Lambert, probably bump him to the wing. Jordan Dumais. Do you fit the third? Yeah, that's right. Okay, he does fit the third now. But Lambert with Sugihara and Dumais. I feel like Sugihara in the middle with his... Actually, no. I feel like Sugihara on the wing because Brad Lambert's the better face-off guy. But there we go. We've got our top line back the way it was. Power play. I know Sugihara's been scoring a ton. He's got 6 goals in 7 games, but I think I am just going to try and load up the elite talent on the top line, on the top power play, put Perfetti there. I think we had Stankoven there last year, to be honest. So I think what I might do is I might do Stankoven back on that top. Although Perfetti's been really good, so I'm going to do that. I actually think I'm going to leave that as is. Sugihara with Lambert, Lindell, Pionk, Stankoven. Yeah, that's a great second power play. But we are just going to kind of go back to the way things were last year, see if we can tap back into the magic from last year. Our power play's still really good, but the team performance isn't quite up to snuff, especially defensively. So hopefully, by moving Sugihara down a bit, we can get out of this high-scoring fire wagon hockey that we've been doing. Game number 4, though, can't afford to go down 3-1 in a series to a team as quality as Colorado. Let's see it. Can we bounce back in a big way and make this a best of 3 heading home? First period, 1-0. Nikolai Ehlers. There we go. That's what we want to see. Ehlers back on the first line and gets a goal. Second period, it's 2-2. Sugihara scoring on the power play, but Middlestat answers on the power play, and Cale Makar ties the game. An absolutely massive third period underway here. First 5 minutes go by, and we get a power play. Can we capitalize? We can't. Colorado's really leaning into their penalty kill this year. They saw how nuclear we went last year, and they figured that was a good way to stop us this year. 5 minutes to go in the period. Is there gonna be a late dramatic winner? No, but we head into overtime. And this is going to be huge. The next goal is totally pivotal for the series. About halfway through the period, shots are going back and forth. It's a pretty even overtime, even game. And Ivan scores again. And the fourth line for Colorado steps up big. Sugihara with another minus. Nazar, yeah. Our lack of balance on the bottom six might be getting to us right now, guys. Well, this is the point of last year where I kind of dropped Delandria. Man, losing that game in overtime hurts a ton. We've lost some locker room chemistry as well. I think maybe, oh man, I don't want to bench guys that are doing well, but like Chibrikov, oh, I'm not looking at the right thing. Luchenko here, -3, Chibrikov, Luchenko, and Nazar. Nazar has been okay. Let's go with Maverick Bork down here. He's a depth forward. He's a playmaker. He's decent. I'm going to see if he can fit the fourth line. On ice play, scheme fit, fourth line, beautiful. There we go. And he'll fit. Love to see it. I mean, just making some kind of change down there for the sake of it. I know Jet Luchenko's not the happiest guy in the world right now. And maybe it is morale, but really, guys, what it is Connor Hellebuck has absolutely dropped the ball. The team is not playing the same kind of defense. I told Arneal that we should focus on defense. It's tough, guys. It's tough to do that same kind of thing back-to-back years, right? Every year is different. So we now need to win 3 straight games. It's 3-1 Colorado. Let's go see if we can get it done here. We're back on home ice. Hopefully the fans get behind us. Got the whiteout going. Let's get it done. First period, and it's 1-1. Kyle Connor and Nathan MacKinnon. It is neck and neck right now in this series, guys. Second period, 4-4. Lekkinen and Landeskog, but Sugihara, Perfetti on the power play. Landeskog again, and Dumais. Oh my God. It's 4-4. Next goal is vital, and it's Sprong. We're now looking at being eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs here in round number 2, but Perfetti answers for us. A huge goal. Halfway through the period, Nathan MacKinnon scores, but Brad Lambert answers right away. It's 6-6. Nyshuskin. Oh, but it's Chibrikov. It's 7-7. What a third period with 3 minutes to go. Is there going to be another one in overtime? And we are going into overtime yet again. We got to score the goal. We got to win the game, and it is Mark Scheifele when we needed it. 8-7 final. Wow. Wow. What a game. Morrissey, Nazar, dude, again. He's killing me right now. Is there anybody in the AHL right now? Is there anybody in the AHL right now who is like a two-way kind of guy? You know what? Let's just go here. Go to roster moves. Maybe we got to call somebody up from the AHL to replace Nazar. I mean, Bowman. But Bowman here, I'd love to, but he's another sniper. A two-way forward here, and Adam Beckman feels kind of like what we need right now. There's also Wagner. Fabian Wagner is a playmaker. No, I feel like we need to call up the two-way forward right now. Just call him up, confirm. I think Manitoba got eliminated. Best AHL lines. But I am fine with this. Dominic Toninato is upset. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and sub off Frank Nazar because I think he's just not quite doing it for us. He was a -2 that game again. -5 through 9 games on the fourth line is not what I wanted to see. We'll put Beckman in there. We'll see if we can tell him to play like the fourth line. On ice play, scheme fit. Yes, all right, fourth line, there we go. And he's going to fit the fourth line. He's accepting that role, and you love to see it. So we're getting a +3 now from these guys, and we got to keep Nikita Chibrikov in here because he's been phenomenal for us. But we've now got Bork. Maverick Bork was a -2 in his one game. I'm going to put Luchenko back in just because I want to give Luchenko another shot at it. Oh, he's really bad defensively, though. He really is bad defensively. So we are going to go with Maverick Bork here as the fourth line center, just because unless I want to move like Brad Lambert's been really good though, right? He's even. I guess he would help out the defensiveness, and then we would move Chibrikov up to play with Sugihara, but he fits the fourth. You know what? No. We're going to just do Bork and Beckman. A little bit of a change to our fourth pairing, or our fourth line. Zach Jones is now back up to an 81, so that's really encouraging to see that his morale has gone up just a little bit to get him back to an 81, which is exactly where we had these lines look exactly like we did last year. That's where we had Colin Miller. Multiple morale changes because of interactions. I love it. We've gained locker room chemistry. We staved off elimination. We got to do it one more time. We got one more time, and then it's for all the marbles. But we got to win this one here on the road in Colorado. Can we get it done? First period. Nothing. Honestly, at this point, I will take that kind of game. I don't like getting into a shootout with Colorado. It scares the crap out of me. Second period, it's 1-0. Morrissey scoring on Blackwood, and we take a huge 1-goal lead into the third period, but Brian Dumoulin scores, but Mikey Anderson scores for us. Oh my God, the shots are crazy for us. It's 2-1 though. This is the kind of game we had all last year. We've done this before. We've been here. The power play though isn't clicking the way it was. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute left. Is there a late goal? No, there's not. 41 shots, 2 goals. Both goalies played phenomenally in this game. And we have forced a game number 7. And one thing I'm thinking about doing, guys, is the power play. I'm thinking about putting the power play back to the way it was. Logan Stankoven, I kind of wanted him on the right wing, right? That's where he was last year. I don't think it really matters. Perfetti, is he a better faceoff taker than Lundell? I think he is now. Power play, though. We are going to put Stankoven here instead of Perfetti. Oh, God. He's got to quickly flip-flop with Kyle Connor, Perfetti, and then we will put Stankoven there. He's got close quarters, so actually, you know what? We're just going to leave him on right D. He is a right-handed shot. Kyle Connor is a left-handed shot. Ehlers is a left-handed shot. Scheifele's probably too important to be in front of the net, but maybe we move Ehlers back here and move Stankoven there because you got that right-handed shot from right there. Distributor, finisher, puck carrier shouldn't be Morrissey. I think it should be Ehlers with gold wheels. Finisher, Kyle Connor, Morrissey. Yeah, I feel like Kyle Connor's fine. Distributor, Scheifele. Do we? No, we're gonna go with the gold if we can. We don't have any gold finishers here. We just have not Ehlers, but Kyle Connor. There we go. So we'll just do that. See if we can get the power play clicking like it was last year, because that was like just a unstoppable weapon. And we're gonna need it here in game number 7. Winner faces the Edmonton Oilers. Man, it's a very familiar story here. Year over year. Capitals have advanced as well, and game 7 in that other series between Toronto and that game would get just so much fun to watch. A lot of emotion in that game. But here we go. Game 7. Let's go win it. Let's get it done. First period. 3-0 power play. Yes, it's back. 18 shots to their 5. Scheifele with an even strength goal as well, but we have to stay smart. 3 goals is nothing for this team to come back from, so we cannot count Colorado out. There's going to be an inevitable pushback. We just got to weather the storm. Second period, it's 3-1. There was a pushback. They did have 9 shots, so they doubled their shot total essentially, but we are still up 3-1 heading into the third period of game number 7. 5 minutes in, I'll take it. Colorado gets a power play. The penalty kill shuts the door. Halfway through the period, we're holding on to this 2-goal lead right now. Nathan McKinnon cuts it to 1 with 5 minutes left. Gabriel Landeskog ties it. 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left. Is there anybody late? There's nobody late. I don't want to jump in. I just kind of want to keep watching from here. We got another overtime game. Who's going to advance to the Western Conference Finals? 5 minutes gone. Colorado gets a power play. We're able to kill it, though. Halfway through the overtime period now. Still 3-3. Anybody's game. 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes left in overtime. 2 minutes with a minute left in overtime. We're going to a second overtime. The shots are crazy right now, guys. In the second overtime, how long will this one last? Not long. And it's Daniel Sprong in double overtime, and Connor Hellebuck Whoo boy. Oh man, Connor, that is not a good look for you there, bud. Scott Arniel, I know, bud. We got bounced. We failed to execute. Our season is over. Yep, I agree. We just didn't execute our game plan. We came in trying to be a 5-on-5 defensive team. We ended up playing every game like it was a shootout. Maybe part of that is because I had too many offensive-minded players down in the depth. We kind of saw that that's where some of Colorado's bounce back, or where they got the advantage over us. But we had Scheifele, Morrissey, Ehlers. I mean, so many good players. It does straight up come down to, though, Connor Hellebuyck. I mean, 2 overtime losses in the playoffs isn't that bad, right? But it's the manner in which we played. He allowed 3.64 goals against. You can see the one season where we had him actually playing at a top level was the season we went all the way. He reverted back to the years where he just was, I mean, 876 is awful. It's the worst he's done for us in the 4 years. And at 34, making $8.5 million, only a 10-team no trade clause, Carter George right behind him. Maybe Carter George does develop an X factor. Maybe. Is it time to move on from Connor Hellebuyck? Or do we go back one more season with Connor Hellebuyck? Just roll back one more time with Hellebuyck. Carter George, maybe not ready, but we just saw Mackenzie Blackwood have a dominant year, and maybe I do need to prioritize some more two-way forward type players. Maybe moving on from a guy like Jordan Dumais, who was great. Don't get me wrong, 83 sniper. You put him in your top 6, he's fantastic, but we maybe need a penalty killer. And Chibrikov, you know, he was fine, but he is a playmaker, not the greatest defensively. Frank Nazar, I ended up scratching. Jet Luchenko, right? Some of these guys I could maybe move on from for two-way players of a similar ilk, right? A youngish 24-year-old guy who's really good defensively, because let's be honest, we don't need the offense, not with Connor, Scheifele, Ehlers, Stankov, and Perfetti down to an 85. You really do hate to see that one. I'm not sure what got him down to an 85. His individual performance absolutely tanked his morale. Okay. I mean, I don't know how you have 8 goals or 63 points, 82 games played, and then in the playoffs, I don't know how you put up, 10 points, 8 goals in 11 games and plus 8, and all of a sudden you're mad at yourself. But he's harder on himself than I am, but it's okay. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things to talk about here, guys. Maybe we do move on from some of the elder statesmen here. I mean, I feel like we keep Gavrikov for sure. Jones is definitely gone, and maybe we can find a better two-way defenseman there to help out on the penalty kill. The fourth line definitely, I think, needs to be reassessed. I don't think we can have Frank Nazar on the fourth line anymore. I feel like maybe I can keep Jordan Dumais on the third line, but we do have Bowman coming up, who I probably would want to give the ice time to, being the younger guy. 82 at just 20. We did take him in 2025 in the third round. He does have decent defensive stats. So I feel like this is the kind of guy that I would love to put on the third line. We can get rid of Dumais. We can get rid of Nazar. We can get rid of Luchenko. That's a lot. And get maybe some younger guys that are going to come up in a couple years, or maybe go for some elite two-way forwards. So that's at least what I'm thinking. But I mean, really, I can't be too upset losing to Colorado. They're such a good team. They're dominant. They got that blue line. They play good team defense. So I can't be too upset. Game 7 overtime loss after battling back as tough as we did. So that's all the time I have for this one, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys in the next one.